morning, guys. It's a little bit after 9 a.m. right now. I just got off my morning huddle with my warehouse team. With that being said, I want to start the vlog off by saying thank you guys so much to everyone that's been tuning in, subscribing, commenting, messaging me in the DMs, everything. It means the absolute world to me. We just hit 300 subscribers. We haven't even been filming for 2 weeks. It's been like 11 days or so, and we just hit 300 subscribers. That means the absolute world to me, and the channel's been growing like crazy, and this has been the coolest thing. So thank you guys so much. With that being said, let's get into the day, and I'll see you guys soon. All right, guys. So it's a little bit past 10:30 right now. I forgot to tell you guys, I think I told you guys in last night's clip, and when you guys are watching this, I'm probably going to be like already 2 days in, but I started my fast. I'm going to fast for 4 days. That's like 96 hours, almost 100 hours or so. I talked about this to you guys in last night's vlog. So when you guys are seeing this vlog, I'll probably be like 48 hours in already or so. I'm going to fast for, like I said, about 96 hours. I absolutely love doing it. And every time I think of like not wanting to do it is when I know I have to do it again. I do it probably maybe once every other month or so, a little bit. I used to do it a little bit more often, but I think it wasn't good to do it that often. So I've been doing it for like since the beginning of last year. I've been doing it. I started out with doing 24 hours and I got into 48 hours and 72 hours and 96. And so 96 has been like that good threshold. Like I told you guys in last night's vlog, I want you guys to kind of pay attention to my skin, my eyes, cognitively, how I feel, if I sound any different, whatever. I want you guys to just take a look for it yourselves, and I want you guys to really try to think if it's something that you guys want to do. I really recommend doing it at least once. Give it a shot. At least try to go 24 or 48 hours. You'll realize how oftentimes food is more done out of boringness or being bored rather than or not knowing what else to do with your time, rather than like actually needing to eat and wanting to be hungry. And so there's obviously a line. I'm not recommending never eating again, but give it a try. From a cognitive perspective and from a spirituality perspective, it's just been a humongous thing for me. It's honestly changed my life, and from a disciplinary perspective as well. So that being said, you guys, I am going to finish up a few more things. I'm uploading some more shorts. I'm trying to streamline this process. My editor's been dialed in for me making them, and I've been editing some myself as well. I've been trying to go like 2 days in advance at least. I notice how much of a difference that plays for me. I've been in the school community as well, really dialed in for you guys, trying to give as much info in there as I can, as I showed you guys last night too. As you guys can kind of see, it's like in here and all this kind of stuff, right? And so super excited about that too, you guys. So with that being said, I don't have that many more meetings this morning. Let me check here really quick. I don't have that many more meetings. I have a meeting at 3 and then a meeting at 4. And yeah, I have a meeting with the shampoo hairline that I told you guys about, that you guys know about. And then I have a meeting with the women's athletic apparel brand. I have a meeting with them at 4. I'm going to take care of. So I will see you guys in a second. Obviously, there's not going to be any eating in these next 4 vlogs. I'm not going to go to any food. I'm not going to go to Erewhon or anything like that. But we will find something else to occupy that space in the day. And so I will talk to you guys in a second, all right? All right, guys. So one thing I forgot to tell you guys a while back that I do in every company of mine, is I have every person in management send me in the morning. Everyone in management will send me 2 emails a day summarizing in the morning what they are going to do to move the company forward. What's the one thing that they are going to do every day, like when they're doing it in that day, to move the company forward. And why I have that in the morning is so then I can know that they're working on the right tasks throughout the day. At the end, I need them to send me like a Loom video or a quick description of what they did that day to move the company forward, and then what they're going to do tomorrow to move the company forward. And I have seen such good results in my company. All 3 of my companies, I have literally seen tremendous results from that. It's been absolutely game changing. So I'll say it one more time for you guys, okay? So in the morning, what I will do is that everyone in management will send me what's the one thing that they are doing to move the company forward today. And then at the end of their shift, at the end of the day, it's what's the one thing that they did to move the company forward today and show me in some way. And then what's the one thing tomorrow that they're going to do to move the company forward. Now it's in the morning, I make sure that they're working on the right thing. Then at night is to go over, hey, this was or this wasn't good. Let's, make adjustments here. And then it'll give them a clear idea to come in prepared tomorrow of what they need to do to make sure that they have a clear idea of like the upcoming schedule, etc. But also from a perspective of, I now know, hey, tomorrow that they're going to be doing this, and I can address it even that day, rather than getting them till tomorrow saying, hey, this is what to do, or this isn't what you want to be doing for tomorrow, kind of thing, right? And that's a way to really optimize time. And at scale, that's just the reality of it, right? Like I tell you guys sometimes too, that when you are really growing as a business, you are not going to be able to be involved in every call, every aspect, etc. That just doesn't happen. It's physically impossible for you. And that's good though. That's where you need to invest in the right people, the right trainings, etc. And you need to have systems in place to be able to optimize their tasks and make sure that they are doing the right thing. Like you need to make sure that people are somehow, some way, you can streamline this way to understand like every single person is doing the right thing. Most people think that the owner and CEO is talking to every single person, and that's not how it's going. So what happens is the owner is working through people, who's working through people, who's working through people. Owner and CEO is working through C-suites, then C-suites are working through team leads, team VPs and team heads, whatever. Team heads are working through their employees, etc. Right? So it all trickles down, but is kind of a big game of telephone in an aspect, right? Where it's like you're having your weekly calls with the sales team, you're having your weekly calls with the marketing team, whatever that may be. But at the same time though, is you're working through someone who then they have to go to somebody, then they're going to somebody, right? And if everyone's doing their task and if things are explained the right way, everyone's going to be doing their due diligence and everyone's going to be doing things the right way. And that's where you have to understand too, that from a systemized perspective, things have to make sense and things have to be tidy, if you will. If there's a leakage up top with your C-level guys, there's gonna be a leakage all the way down. Things have to be dialed in from step one and then they'll go down. And then also too, something that I talked to you guys about prior as well that I wanted to wait a little bit so you guys can get more used to what I'm saying and acclimated is the idea that you have to overpay A players to get the most out of B and C players. So if you overpay, you give more than going rate in whatever industry you're in to your A players, they're gonna be super dialed in and get the most out of your B and C guys. Doesn't mean you ever underpay anybody by any means, but with that being said, those you want to overpay because you know that giving them an extra X amount of thousands of dollars a year is going to create hundreds of thousands, if not millions of more dollars in profit and revenue for you. Guys that you know are A players right away and that they're dialed in, you want to lock them in. What you really want to do is you want to overpay them and lock them in. And when I say overpay, I mean somewhat conservatively, I'm not talking crazy, but you overpay those guys because they're going to come and perform and get the most out of their B and C guys. Because like I said in that hierarchy, they're in the big game of telephone. The reality is that those A-level guys are going to be the ones that are ensuring that everyone else is doing their job and that everything else is running smoothly, and you need to be able to work through them. You're not going to be able to that much besides a team meeting every week or whatever. You're not going to be talking to your client success manager, your director of whatever. You're not going to have a ton of that, right? Your C-suites are going to talk to them, and then your directors will talk to the people below them, right? Every company's org structure is a little bit different, obviously. You have to be able to find ways to talk to somebody without having to actually talk to them, right? Kind of like in the sales, to make a fundamental comparison, it's like in the sales flows as well. You want to get someone as far as along in that sales process as possible without having to talk to a human, right? And ideally, in a perfect sales flow, you get people on the phone just asking you, hi, where do I pay? Where do I go to pay? How do I pay? Etc. Right? Same kind of thing. You want to have such things such streamlined to where you can find a way, metaphorically speaking, to speak to an account rep from just talking to your A-level guys, your C-suite guys. That being said, you guys, I want you guys to think about that in terms of scale and stop having small business syndrome, right? Stop having small mindsets, small business syndrome. And what I mean by that, like stop thinking that you have to do everything. Hire good people and put emphasis on the people that you have around you and put emphasis on and train and put money into them so then you can yield better results and that they can actually induce scale for you and you can buy back more of your time. You have to look at every employee as you have as making you more revenue. And if they aren't making you more revenue, whether it's indirectly or directly, if they're not doing that, well, they're probably not a good fit. You don't need that role. But it's being able to look at everyone and saying, even though my payroll is a very nice 5-figure every 2 weeks, I do it willingly, also from an energetic standpoint, also from the standpoint of those people are what's making me money and letting me grow the business, right? And that's just how you have to think. So you have to do that with love and say thank you so much and understand that every role has to have its fit and actually be eager to hire more people within reason. I'm not saying go over hire. That will induce more growth and more growth and more growth. It's like giving to receive. You give somebody, 80 grand a year to make back 250. You know what I mean? And that's kind of that's the idea. So you want to get to a model where you know that for every guy that you're giving 80 to, you're going to get back 250, right? It's never that perfect, but you guys get the idea that I'm saying. So yeah, with that being said, I'm going to finish this up a little bit, you guys. I'm uploading some more content like I said a second ago, and then I will see you guys in a second. All right guys, so this is a call I have on right now with the guy that I mentor and coach in Florida with his 3PL fulfillment company. So I want to bring you guys on for the call. Let's see. What's up, brother?
I don't know if you got an invitation, but I sent you an invite for the meeting we should have on Friday to Wednesday this week, same time.
I got the invite and I accepted it.
Okay, perfect. I got this guy coming in tomorrow to come visit, so.
Oh, that's right.
Got both my guys coming in tomorrow at about 8 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, you should save up all Ashley Benson's orders for tomorrow.
Yeah, that's what I got right now.
You put some racks in there?
Yeah, I got about 6 racks in. Take a look real quick.
Yeah, sure. Oh, nice.
Oh, that's right there.
No, dude, it looks good in there. I don't think, dude, it looks totally fine in there, honestly. Is that Ashley Benson stuff?
Yeah, most of it, yeah. I can tell them, hey, if you want a designated area for your stuff, we'll move all this stuff and keep all your stuff back here.
Has he given you an idea of what his expected storage is going to be?
No. It's like minimal conversation and out of the blue. Just like, hey, I want to come visit your place. So I'm like, okay, sure. So he hasn't really let me know anything. Only had his assistant attend on the call. So it's very random that he just wants to show up, but nonetheless expressing interest,
Yeah, I agree. And I think, the place looks at a point where he's not going to bat an eye at your place time. It being an office space versus a warehouse kind of thing, I don't think that's going to make a difference in the way you have it set up right now. How's the guy you're handling returns for?
Good, I'm invoicing about 2,000 to 2,500 a month from him.
Consistently?
Yeah.
I think the one tough thing there is the idea of going from this drop shipping model for him all the way to this inventory based model. You know, I think that's a tough.
The next step, though.
Yes, it is. I do agree. And I think that's where a lot of these drop shipping guys are even going. That's just the route drop shipping now is. And it's like, which drop shipping item can I test? I'll go test 100, run a bunch of discovery ads on them. And if I can get, one to be a home run, I turn that into the brand, kind of thing.
They're at the point where they should do that. Billy, they're getting about 250 to 300 orders a day.
That's good, man. Their marketing must be dialed in.
It is. I get the ads all the time. It's pretty good. Shipping from China to the U.S. it takes 2 weeks for your customers to get your orders. If you do it with us, we'll get it to them within 3 to 5 days.
I would even say you'd actually be probably saving money on your returns. I bet 50% of your returns because they didn't come up in time. They didn't get there in time.
Transition their business model, especially when they want to stay tight.
Well, I think especially when they want to stay lean, it's a pretty big cash injection to not having to do that at all. And I think that's why people like drop shipping in general. What's his margins? Do you know?
I don't know how much he's spending on ads. You got to factor that in at some point. I think they're pretty healthy. They're selling these rubber clogs for like $70. Fulfillment out of China and manufacturing out of China, you gotta assume it's pretty cheap, He told me he's making some pretty good margins on them. I don't know what exactly, but I'm gonna say upwards of 30 to 40%.
Bottom line net?
Yeah.
I wonder what his lifetime value is of those guys.
So the reason he gets so many returns is because he offers a program, return and exchange program, and it gives him a little bit more value per order because they pay about $3 for lifetime returns and exchanges. And he's banking that they won't ever return or exchange. That's an extra $3 per order.
So an extra $3 an order and what? They can return it no matter what, whenever they want?
Whenever they want, they can return and exchange it however they want. And that's why I'm able to process all these returns. I probably get about 150 returns per week from this guy. If those are his return numbers, his actual numbers of fulfillment are way up there.
Yeah, I'm sure he'd be a 5-figure a month client probably.
Yeah, I'd say so. He said he's looking to buy inventory in bulk within the year, so optimistic about that. But I'm gonna feel the temperature tomorrow and see what the deal is because they haven't really given me an idea. The only thing is that they said they recently bought or are renting a warehouse.
Oh, that's right. This is the guys coming in tomorrow to see you in your place.
Tomorrow, yeah. I think I'm just gonna say, hey, what are you paying a month for rent, staff? Have you even weighed the numbers of, if it makes sense to outsource? Because, I'm going to say it's considerably cheaper than paying a warehouse rent,
Yeah, you for sure want to take that angle. You want to say from the saving money angle, the no overhead, the insurance, all that kind of stuff, right? I'd even say hey, since you are in a direct consumer cash flow based business, the reality is, man, if something does go south in that warehouse and one of your guys, an insurance claim could take you out of business.
Right.
A little bit of a fear sell there. I think your warehouse is in very good shape. I think that's good, and I think you're good.
It looks presentable,
Absolutely.
Presentable enough.
Like we said, right? Always making it a positive for them rather than a negative on yourself. It's like saying something to the effect of there's no warehouse dust. There's not going to be any of that. It's very clean. It's very tidy and clean in here. And, there's not going to be any we've had clients in the past come in and lost orders, had returns, whatever, because there was dirty warehouse dust all over it, whatever. And so, we're able to avoid that here.
Yeah. We'll see how it goes, man, Right now I got a lot of it. I have 3 people that have expressed interest so far.
That's what the cool thing about the service-based stuff is your return on ad spend, not even ad spend, but your client acquisition cost is nothing compared to what their lifetime value is.
Which is why if we're able to get on this meeting on Wednesday and you can help me close it, I'm willing to give you a good chunk of change because that will be recouped within a month or 2.
Yeah.
Glad I got the stamp of approval.
Yeah, for sure. No, it looks good, man. It looks good. And I don't think there'll be any issue in terms of aesthetic of your space.
If you saw it a week ago, it would definitely be a problem, but I can fix it up.
That's good. Now you have it there and try to do your best to keep it there as long as you can,
Right.
Alrighty.
Man. Yeah, I'll keep you updated.
All right, cool. Let me know, all right?
All
right, brother, see you. All right, you guys. So you guys heard a little bit of that call. That's just kind of how a lot of those calls go. He's been in the game now for well over a year. It's a year and a half now. And so that's how a lot of those things kind of go in terms of the calls with him. He's kind of asked for advice, etc. And it's 11-ish right now. I'm going to work on a few more things here. I want to get to the gym by noon, which is in 40 minutes. I don't know if I'm going to do it because I'm going to red light therapy and meditate by then, but we will see. So, all right, guys, I will see you in a little bit, all right? All right, guys, it's 1 p.m. right now or so. I'm about to get a fit. I'm going to go to the gym in a second. second here, but before I do that, I'm going to record a quick like 5 to 10 minute raw talk piece on why you should take your life more seriously and why that's actually a cool thing to do. That being said, I'm going to pick out an outfit here really quick. I want to throw my jewelry on as well. I told you guys this too, but besides going to dinner and the gym, I don't really go anywhere else. I think I've told you guys, but I refuse to DoorDash and Uber Eats. When I tell people that, a lot of people say like, oh, that surprises me because how conscious of your time you are. But for me, that's the idea of seeing people and those connections that you guys have seen in real life that I have with those kind of people. It really fills me up and I feel really good inside. And I really enjoy being able to give to those people, whether through tipping or whether through just talking, smiling, listening, whatever that may be. I feel really good about it. And so that's something why like I don't do that. And you should always respect your money. And I think that, let's say you go order a Chipotle burrito on Uber Eats or DoorDash, whatever it is, in reality, after tip, delivery fee, everything, you paid like $40 or so to literally have a burrito that was in somebody else's car. Like it's just cold. Like, I don't know. It just doesn't make sense to me. I think for the pants today, I'm going to do those black cargo pants that I wore the other day as well. And then I have that Amiri crew neck. I think I showed you guys that Amiri crew neck last time. You guys can see I literally have all black. It's like my closet is all black for the most part. And and then the pants down here, maybe I'm gonna go these baggy Carhartt ones. I've had them for a while. I'm gonna wear my Chrome Hearts zip up again. This one. It looks better on black. I had literally 4 pairs of them. I literally at one time bought 4 pairs and I don't know where all of them have gone now. Found them. The lighting under there isn't that good either. All right, guys, I'm gonna throw this on. I'll show you guys the fit and then I will see you guys in a second. All right, you guys, so here's the fit. It's nothing crazy at all, honestly, just the Chrome Hearts here. Cargo pants. I think I'm gonna wear the Dior high tops today. I'm gonna throw these on, but remember, no shoes in the house. I'm gonna go throw these on by the door. I'm gonna film that raw talk video too, and then later tonight, you guys, I'm also gonna film a Loom video going over the setters versus closers and like the sales flow and like how to do that and how that all looks. Here's an example of it. So the reason why it's super important though is because there's these little things that take a little bit of time in the beginning to understand like what's the importance of them and all that. One, it just takes practice in doing it. So I want to time collapse that as much as possible for you guys. I want you guys to get ahead of the game as much as you can and learn those things right away. It's kind of like what I said in the other video as well about the idea of dummy tax. It's one of those things that kind of like the dummy tax that you pay to learn. Not that you pay to learn, but you pay through trial and error and making the mistakes. And I don't want you guys to have to make those mistakes or not know what they are yourselves. All right, guys. So here, as you guys can see, this is kind of how it looks. Like KPI targets. You want your show rate 70%, close rate 33%. So you're gonna be closing 33% of those people that show up. So you have 100 people, you want 70 people to show up and you want to close about 33% of them. These are really big metrics, right? And I'm a big believer in like backing into or reverse engineering into your goals. So let's say you have a 70% show rate and you have a 3% close rate. And then you know that you're selling a $5,000 offer, $5,000 ticket, and you want to get to, let's just say round numbers, you want to get to 100 grand. That means you have to close 20 people, right? And if you know that your close rate is 33%, let's just make it round numbers. Let's just say, for example, okay, it's 20%. Okay, let's say your close rate is 20%, which is not that good. Let's just say it is, right? So let's say you get 100 people to book a call. And those 100 people, 70% of those people show up because you have your show rate here, right? So your show rate, 70% of them is showing up. So 70 people out of 100 is showing up. And then you're closing 33% of those, right? So let's just say it's 20%. You need to basically get 100 people on the phone. And then what you need to do is you need to close, right? Then you're gonna be closing 20% of them. That's 20 times 5, that's 100 grand, right? At a $5,000 ticket. So you guys can get the reverse. That's why knowing those metrics is so valuable because you can back into your goals, right? If you know that you're getting a 70% show rate and you're closing for round numbers 20%, right? Which is low, but let's just say you are, right? You gotta get on the phone with 100 people. You gotta have 100 people show up to your calls. If you know that you're closing 20% of those people, you close 20% of 100, that's 20 people, 20 times 5. That's kind of where that thought process comes from, you guys. And then also as well, because we'll show you guys this, just how to, and this is a little bit more of like the back end intricacy stuff, but this is a huge thing too, you guys. You want to be able to call every lead within 15 minutes, honestly, but 2 hours is fine. It's within 2 hours, depending on how dialed in your setters are. And then after appointment is booked, you want to make sure that everyone watches the VSL. That's a huge thing. It's $100,000, right? I'll show you guys super quickly. Call booked, VSL sent via iMessage, group with closer and setters created. So what that means is once the setter books the call, okay? Setter comes in, call is booked. The setter's communication is its own separate thing that I'll make a separate video on, but that it's tough to combine the two. So in the idea that the call's already booked, okay? So you want every lead to be able to see that VSL via iMessage or whatever, however the group is created. Okay, so what's going to happen is Setter's going to get the call booked, and then from there they're going to say, okay, super, sounds good, whatever, yada yada. With that being said, you're going to hop on a call with one of my team members, Billy. Billy would like that you watch this video, yada yada yada. So that video is going to be a VSL. From there, Setter's going to make a group message with the setter and the closer and then the prospect. Okay, and then so beforehand, that's what's going to happen is the setter's going to ask for confirmation 24 hours before the call. Then a manual reminder from 6 hours before the call. Okay, within that manual reminder for 6 hours before the call, you're going to get this kind of message. A Loom video, all right? Or like a selfie type of thing. You want the closer, okay, or whomever it is, to be able to get on video and say, hey, blah, 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 how's it going? Super excited to be talking with you. I'm gonna, super basic, I'm gonna go more in depth in the video. Super excited to be talking with you. We're gonna go over where you're at, where you wanna be, how we're gonna help, how I'm gonna come in and actually help. With that being said, I'm super excited to talk to you, man, and like look forward to talking to you soon, right? That's gonna increase your show rate by 1 billion, okay? By personal things like that, and it creates a law of reciprocation of like, oh my gosh, this guy went out of his way to do this for me. That's a really big deal. All those kind of things are a huge thing. And a big thing is show rate. You just need to get people to show up. You need to improve your show rate. Most of the time, the issue is with the show rate. Obviously, if your closers are dialed in, it's with your show rate, but you really want to do your best to increase show rate, okay? So that being said, then you come in here, and then there's a manual reminder 3 hours before. Setter calls. The setter is going to actually call the lead 1 hour before. Call them on the phone and say, hey, we got your meeting in 1 hour. Super excited to talk to you. Make sure you're in there, all right? And then manual reminder 5 minutes before the call. Link to the call. The link is sent again at the time of the call. Let's say the call's at 4 p.m. Link to the call is sent at 4 p.m. Okay. Then they go into this. Then if they're linked to call, right? Then if they're a no-show, there's 7 days of follow-ups. I call them the 7 days of hell. And the link to call not closed, they get to put into an exclusive free resource form, an exclusive email flow that you can do in Klaviyo or wherever you use for your emails. You can go in there and then they should get their own nurture flow. They're a hot lead. They're almost there. So they're closer than the average prospect. They're closer. They've already been on the call. They've already showed up. They've expressed interest, right? So if they don't close, they should go on their own email flow. And that's why you have to have this back-end system taken care of. That'll save you a ton of time and make you a lot more money. And then obviously if they're closed, etc. And then something on here is too that I will talk about really quick is like the 50% rule. I'm a believer in the 60% rule. The first 60% of the call, you should not be doing any of the talking besides asking the questions. That's a huge thing. I'm gonna go make a video on that tonight for you guys. I'll post, by the time you guys are watching this video, it'll be posted. It's really a lot about you guys. You wanna get as hot of leads as possible. And like I told you guys all the time, you have really dialed in sales flow. You want people that are hopping on calls to just be asking where they pay, how do I pay, where do I pay? You wanna be able to get as much out of that lead as possible before any human communication, all right? That's a huge thing. You wanna have things like the type form, your type form filled out where you have dialed in questions, yada, 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 all those kind of things. I even like doing things of like saying, hey, on that type form, the price of this offer is X amount. And with that being said, it's like, if you're not willing and ready to invest, please do not book a call. That is going to weed out as much as possible. And it goes back to my point about you put as much up in the beginning as possible to the point where if they are booking a call, you're not wasting any of your closers' times. And that if they are booking a call with you, that they are hot and ready to go. And they just need that final touch, right? That's where it's knowing your numbers too is so important. Your KPIs. KPIs stand for key performance indicators. And it's really important to know that so you can back into your goals. You can back in. So if you know, like I said, your show rate and your close rate, if you know those, you just need to back into how many people you need to get on the call, how many calls you need booked, how many whatever, you know that, right? So then it goes back into the marketing aspect of just trying to get as much more eyes on the product as possible. So with that being said, you guys, I'm gonna record this video here on why you need to take your life a little bit more seriously. I will see you guys after on the way to the gym, okay? All right, guys, I'm leaving my place right now to head to the gym. On my way there, I want to talk to you guys about something in regard to like being nervous in the early part of your sales journey, right? So early on, a lot of people, they get super nervous about getting on a call, sales, etc. And there's a few things here that I want to remind you guys of, okay? To like kind of eliminate that nervousness. One, you're not the one with the problem who needs solving. Remember that, right? That you're not the one who needs their problem solved. In reality, there's no level of nervousness needed in that sense. Secondly, you have to remember that there's no right or wrong way to do things as long as you get the right result and you do it ethically and morally, right? If you do it ethically and morally sound and you get the right result, there is technically no right or wrong way to do anything. Third, and maybe most importantly, is the idea of you have what they need. That goes back to like the first part, like the solution part, like that you're not the one with the problem. But even more than that though, you have to understand that you have what they need, right? And what that means is that there should be this level of detachment from the sale, no matter what. I like to use the word regardless. This idea of regardless. I'm good regardless. I'm not going to be hurt regardless. I don't care if you close or not. I'm good regardless. No matter what happens, I'm good regardless, right? The power of that will detach yourself from the sale, and that level of not chasing and not caring, and when I say not caring, I'm using it loosely, but like when you detach yourself from the outcome of the sale and just do your very best, you'll see how many more people you start to close. What I mean by that, you guys, is that when you detach yourself from this outcome of, oh, it has to go this way or it has to go that way, and you're just gonna do your best, your very best you can, and whatever happens, happens. You detach yourself, and that level of desperation is not there. No one wants to buy from the desperate guy, and people want to feel on some level there's this idea of like, this guy doesn't need me. It's like in a relationship with a girl or something, but the reality is that girl doesn't want a guy who's down their throat 24/7 begging for them. Like that no one who wants that, right? Just like in sales, it's the same exact thing. That's why sales translate to every part of life. That's why sales is so powerful. So my point being though, you guys, is like you have to really ask yourself those three things, like what's making you nervous, and then remember when those things though, it's like you're not the one with the problem that needs solving, right? You have the solution, you have what they need. And 2 and 3, there's no right or wrong way to do things as long as you morally and ethically get to the right place. So keep that in mind, you guys, when you're like getting nervous on a call. Like it's all good. You're gonna get through 100, you're gonna have 100 no's, all that kind of stuff. It's all good. It doesn't even matter. You have to detach yourself from the outcome of like, oh, this has to go this way, this has to go this way. It doesn't matter. It's regardless. I don't care what happens, regardless, I'm gonna close the next guy. It doesn't matter. And that's the power of sales, that like you can have one horrible call and the next call could go great, and that's just sales for you. You know what I mean? Like that's just how it goes. So I'm pulling into the gym right now, and just keep that in mind, you guys, when you guys are getting nervous about a sales call or it's stressing you out or anything like that. There's no right or wrong. And at the end of the day, it's literally you're talking to another person. It's human to human. People want to be humanized, and you have to humanize yourself, and people do not want to have this super tense whatever type of sales flow. You have to like humanize yourself and connect with these people and just let it go. That's why it's when you get more experience with sales, what you'll be able to do is start creating a sales script that actually works for you, and that like it's creative. As long as you have your beginning and your end, and you know what type of questions you need to ask, then you're good. And it's no big deal in terms of like, there's no right or wrong. You just need to get to the end result the right way and ethically. Pulling into the garage right now. I think I told you guys, but with the executive parking I don't have to pay for parking. Everyone else, you'd have to pay for parking, but I got unlimited parking basically. All right guys, I'm gonna park my car here and I will see you guys in a second. All right guys, I just got to the gym. I parked the car. I think I'm gonna hit some back today. I usually am doing back or chest on Mondays and Thursdays, but I've been switching up my back and my chest, so I'm gonna do back today, I think. Got the Dior's on too. It has been absolutely freezing. But all right guys, I'm gonna see you guys. I just got to the gym, gonna get changed here. I haven't eaten in like 14 hours or so, which doesn't feel that long, but I don't know, when I start fasting, I feel it a little bit, you know, but going to get my workouts have fun. I'm gonna do back, crank out a nice back workout. I've been coming in way later and the crowd is super different. It's like much more mellow at this time, like at 2-ish p.m. or so. Good and bad, not as much like motivation, if you will, if you get what I'm saying. I'm cranking out the fast here. It's like weird when you know you're fasting and like you see the food while on, food looks much better, but it's like a discipline thing, you know. You feel like way better disciplined and like you feel good about it. And when you fast, I'm telling you, you really realize how much time you spend and like waste on like just thinking about food, cooking, all that kind of stuff, you know. And you realize that you're not gonna die without it. All right guys, I'm gonna get changed and I'll see you guys out there. All right guys, so I'm leaving the gym right now. I was here for a little bit longer than I intended to be. I took a few calls here as well. I would definitely like to go get a smoothie or something to eat right now, but I'm not. I'm fasting like I told you guys. So I'm gonna head home since I'm not eating. I'm probably gonna go get Hugo a little bit later. We're gonna take a few pictures and then we're gonna work on some stuff as well for you guys. So right now he's staying in Santa Monica. I am gonna go swoop him over there probably in a little bit. Just gonna wait for traffic to die down. It is freezing in LA. Maybe I'm just used to it being so warm that it's really not that cold, and it's probably not compared to what other people would say, but I'm cold lately. It's funny, when you're fasting, your senses are super heightened. Like everything's pretty heightened, if you will, like your senses are, and like you smell a lot. When I say you smell a lot, I mean like your sense of smell is super strong. It's like you smell one little thing of food, or you look at food and you're hungry from it. It's been, let's see, like 18 hours right now. No, like 19 hours. So not even that long. I've literally done 96, and I'm just more so telling you guys along about the journey, about how it feels and whatnot. But yeah, so I'm gonna head home right now. I'm gonna record one of the setter versus closer dynamic for you guys. I want you guys to kind of get a gauge on what that is like, how I set that up, and in there too, it'll go over like how I improve my show rate and stuff, like how to kind of have the right KPIs, things like that. I always park too far away. All right, guys, so I'm gonna head home and I will see you guys in a second. All right, guys, so I just got back. I'm finishing up some work here and I wanted to talk to you guys about an interesting run-in or experience I had today at the gym. So at the gym, as you guys see, I connect with a lot of people there and stuff, and I know a lot of people there. And it's one of the guys who works there that I see all the time. It's like every day when I'm in there, we get to talk, we've gotten to know each other. You know, I walked by him, I said, hey man, how are you? Good to see you. And he's like, I'm fine, just surviving, just like the rest of us. And I thought about for a second if I should stop and say something, but I didn't, and I just kept on walking. I said, oh, that's great, man, have a good day. Whatever, I kept on walking. And I want to talk to you guys about that though, and why that mindset is very bad. First and foremost, you guys have to understand that your subconscious mind does not know the difference when you mean something and when you're kind of faking something. What I mean by that is, even if you're having a bad day, you need to say, I am great. You need to say out loud when someone asks how you're doing, I am great, man, how are you? It might sound corny, it might sound lame, but it's the subconscious process of saying that out loud where your body starts to believe it. Then you start to believe it over time. You have to say, oh, I am great, actually. I am doing great. Remember, you have to be something before you actually are it, right? So you have to believe and think that you're great before you actually feel great, right? That's just part of life and part of improving yourself, okay? That's just a huge thing, you guys, is you have to be that thing before you actually are that thing, right? And I've told you guys that a bunch of times now, right? The way you talk to yourself, you have a relationship with yourself just like you have a relationship with everything else in your life. Think of yourself as a friend, okay? The relationship that you have with yourself is, think of that relationship as the same relationship that you have with a friend, okay? In that relationship with the friend, if you lied to them, you never did what you said you were gonna do, you never followed through, you always changed plans, etc., you wouldn't like that friend, you wouldn't trust that friend, you wouldn't believe in that friend. The same thing goes with yourself, okay? Say you're gonna do something, you never do it. If you aren't there for yourself, if you don't talk good to yourself, if you have a bad relationship with yourself, whatever that may be, you're gonna stop trusting yourself, so you're gonna stop liking yourself, and all those kind of things, right? You have to follow through with what you're gonna do. And one of those things is about how you feel inside, all right? And if you say, oh, I'm okay, I'm whatever, I'm just surviving, whatever, you're not gonna like yourself. Why would you like yourself if you're just telling yourself, I'm okay, I'm just surviving, whatever, right? So that's first and foremost, you guys, is you have to be so careful about how you talk to yourself. Even if you don't maybe all the time feel great, say you feel great, all right? And that's what it is. Eventually start actually feeling great. If you tell yourself something enough, you will start to believe it, all right? Your words are so powerful, you guys, and you need to become very good, okay? You guys need to become very good at telling yourself positive self-talk, okay? You have a relationship with yourself just like you have your relationship with everything else that's going on in your life, and you have to have a good relationship with yourself in order to succeed and respect and love yourself. Secondly, you guys, all right, the biggest thing here is it's not okay to just survive. It's not okay to just skate by, to just survive, etc. That is not good enough. It's not adequate. As a functioning member of society, you have a responsibility to do the very best you can. A functioning member of society, meaning you don't have mental disabilities or anything like that, you have a responsibility to yourself, society, and other people, whatever that may be, but most importantly yourself, is that you have to be a functioning member of society, and you have to do your very best and want to be the absolute best you can. That's just a responsibility you have as a man, as a person, or whatever that may be, right? It's not okay to just survive. Just surviving is not good enough. It's just not good enough, you guys. It really isn't. Destroy the day. Life is not happening to you, it's happening for you, okay? You have to go out and want to attack the day and get excited and be passionate about being passionate. Be excited about being excited, right? You have to want to be excited and destroy and do the best you can and be the man. You want to fucking be the man. Because the reality is there's people out there that are going to run you over. Be the best. If you're going to go through life, there's struggles in the goods and the bad. There's struggle with being worth $100 million and there's struggle with being broke. They both have struggles. But what would you rather struggle doing, you guys? You have to ask yourself that seriously. What would you rather struggle doing? If you really know inside, hey, I know that I'm going to struggle either way, you might as well pick the side of the struggle that actually has something on the other end of it that's worth it. Just saying, I'm okay, just surviving, whatever. For one, it's a really powerful statement that you don't even know subconsciously is affecting you in more ways than you realize. Two, though, it's not good enough to just survive. It just simply isn't good enough. And you should demand more in yourself because you love and respect yourself. And when you love and respect yourself, you can love and respect other people. But you have to demand more of yourself than just surviving. And how do you do that? You improve your day-to-day habits and you start respecting and loving yourself first and foremost. How do you do that? You start going to the gym every day. You do the things you know you need to do, but you don't want to do. Start doing those things, right? Because like I said a second ago, you have a relationship with everything in your life, including yourself. And if you think of yourself as a friend, okay? And if you talk to that friend, if you were never there, you were not trustworthy, you didn't follow through with what you said you were going to do, why would you like yourself? Why would you like that friend? Why would you? Same thing goes for yourself. So if you tell yourself every day, I'm just surviving, I'm whatever, and you do nothing to get ahead and you do nothing to take advantage of the beautiful life that you have, it's over. You've already lost before you even start. So you have to take pride in wanting to do that. And then it's like this idea of like, oh, but I don't have this, I don't have that. It doesn't matter. The universe doesn't care. It doesn't matter. What I mean by that is that you start feeling grateful today, you will receive more blessing. Live in gratitude. If all you have is your computer and a roof over your head, be so grateful for that. Even your family, there's so much to be grateful for. And when you start looking inside and smiling, it'll smile outwardly. Meaning grateful for what you currently have, you will receive more things to be grateful for. But you have to make that chance. You have to take that jump. It's going to be uncomfortable in the beginning. It will be uncomfortable to feel that gratitude. But you have to know that the other side of that gratitude is a different life, a way to actually start becoming the person that you want to be. So, all right, guys, I hope that makes sense for you guys. I'm going to record this setter closer video for you guys that I was talking about earlier. I'm going to record that right now. And then I'm going to post it on YouTube. So by the time you guys are watching this, you'll be able to see it on YouTube as well. Go check that out whenever you guys get a chance. I will talk to you guys in a second though, okay? All right, guys. So wow, time is flying. It's like 8:40 right now. I just finished Loom video for this. It's about 15 minutes long. When you guys are watching the video, it'll be up on my YouTube. Go check that out if you guys want to. Yeah, I wanted to talk to you guys too about something really quick that I think is really important, all right? Something about the idea about self-belief, okay? And when you're first starting out. First and foremost, you have to understand that this is difficult. The road of greatness and to do something extraordinary in life is difficult. It is not going to be easy. It's not meant to be easy. It's about reprogramming your mind to find love and being obsessed with the things that are not easy. That's where the real growth comes, right? You have to understand that no one is going to believe in what you're doing until you get it good enough to where they have to believe. No one's going to care more about it than you do, right? No one's going to believe in your vision more than you do, right? In the beginning, how it goes, you guys, is that people aren't going to believe in you, right? People aren't going to believe in what you're going to. And if you don't believe in it, who else is going to, right? Who else is going to believe in you if you don't believe in you, right? So I want to say this, doubt kills dreams far more than failure ever will. People view you for the way that you view yourself. And what happens eventually is that you become so confident and so undeniable in your own belief that eventually what happens is that people start to realize, oh wow, this guy doesn't care if I believe or not. And that level of confidence radiates, right? And your body emits a vibration. That vibration is contagious. And then what happens is when people say, oh, he doesn't care if I believe in it or not, is when they start to care. When you stop caring about what people think, they start to think about you, right? Think about that realistically. It's kind of ironic, but when you stop caring, people start to care, right? And that's the power of detachment and not caring about what people think. Eventually how it goes is that people will see you show up every single day in and day out. Then eventually what happens is they say, oh, this guy doesn't care about my opinion. This guy doesn't care about what I think. Think of your body as a vessel, right? Like I always tell you guys, we are a soul with a body, not a body with a soul, right? And your soul, your energy, your vibration becomes so big, so powerful. People start to say that they have realized that they have no power over your success or not. And when you get so big and powerful that that's how it comes, they start to like you then, right? And because they start to realize, oh, if he believes in it, I believe in it. People view you for the way that you view yourself. You have to understand that no one's going to believe in you in the beginning. And if you don't believe in yourself, why would anybody else? Really think about this, you guys. If you don't believe in you, why is anyone else going to believe in you? That doesn't even make sense. But yet I see so many people saying, oh, I just need this guy to take a chance on me. I just need this guy to do this for me. No, it doesn't matter. It literally doesn't matter. No one's going to believe in you until you do. And then when you start to believe in yourself, that even within itself is going to take some time for people to start believing in you. You have to day in and day out not care about what anybody has to say in order for people to start believing in you. They start to believe in you when they know that you don't need them anymore. That's when they start to believe in you, because they start to realize, oh, if I don't believe in him, he's just going to lap me and it's not going to matter, right? He's just going to pass me up and it's not going to matter. It's all about how you believe in yourself. If you do not believe, I cannot say it enough, if you do not believe in you, no one else is going to believe in you, right? So it all starts from within, and you have to believe in yourself before anybody else ever is going to. And actually, it's like reverse engineering. If you want people to believe in you, we have to start believing in yourself. That's just how it is. Everything that comes in here, you see it out here. If you believe in yourself in here, other people out here will start to believe in you. If you lack trust in here, then you'll see lack of trust out there, right? And that's a big thing. And also, you guys, it goes hand in hand with this other idea that I want you guys to talk about too, is most people say, I don't trust myself, I don't trust relationships, I don't trust people, I don't believe in myself, whatever that may be in terms of the idea of like feeling confident in yourself and believing in yourself. That's not true, okay? You have belief. You just believe that you're going to fail. You have trust. You just trust in the fact that you're going to fail. You're never not trusting. You're just trusting in something that doesn't align with what you think it is. I don't believe in myself. No, you believe in yourself. You just believe that you're going to fail. You don't lack trust. You just trust that it's not going to work. They really think about what I'm saying there, you guys. You don't lack trust. You just lack trust in the fact that it's going to work. You believe in something. You just believe that it's not going to work. So it's about changing and altering your belief system. So you're never lacking anything. You're never in lack of anything. You never are. It's just not maybe trusting the right things, but you're never lacking anything, you guys. So really keep that in mind. When you say, I don't believe in myself, no, you believe in yourself. You just believe that it's going to not work. That's why it's not working. It's because you don't believe it's going to work. You have to understand that you have to believe in this shit before anyone else does. And that's how it's going to go. And you have to become okay with that, all right? Anything that's worth it in life, you're going to have to do. And you're going to have to just believe in yourself and far before anyone else does. That's just the way cookie crumbles, you guys. And so another thing too, that's a really big thing, you guys, is like people don't understand that. People really don't seem to understand that if you operating from how you feel every day doesn't matter. Like there's people out there that are going to come out there every single day and win and not care about how they feel. Meaning for me personally, it doesn't matter how I feel in the morning. I wake up at the same time every day and do the same thing every day. I don't care if I feel like going to the gym or not, I go to the gym. So if you operate from the idea of how you feel all the time, it's not going to work. You're not going to win. You're going to get passed up by people that just simply don't care about how they feel. And so you need to understand that not every day you're going to believe in yourself per se, but you do it anyway. That's just what you do. Not every day you're going to feel great, but you just do it anyway. Because that's just what you know you need to do, and you operate from the idea of what you need to do and not from emotion. When you operate from emotion, it's very difficult to win, because if you operate from how you feel, you're going to wake up some days feeling like you don't want to do it, right? But when you do it because you know you need to do it, it doesn't matter how you're feeling, so when you do it, you know you need to do, and you do it, that's how you're going to win, because that's consistency and the discipline every day, right? Operating from the idea of, I don't feel like going to the gym, I shouldn't go to the gym. No, that's the day you need to go to the gym. When you don't feel like going to the gym is when you have to go to the gym. If you start living off of how you feel all the time, 80% of the time, you're going to not feel like doing it. You are not going to feel like going to the gym. 80% of the time, you're not going to feel like staying up until 3 a.m. and working, whatever that may be, right? Or waking up at 6 a.m. You're not going to feel like doing it, but you do it because you know you need to do it. So remove emotions from all this, you guys, and understand stop being an emotional thinker and be logic-based. The reality is, you guys, that none of this is easy. You have to believe in yourself. You set the foundation for how people perceive you by how you perceive with yourself. And then you have to know that this is not easy. This is not going to be easy. It's not going to be simple. It's not meant to be. That's why it's the 1%, the top 1%, the 1% of the 1%. Really think about that, you guys, about next time you do it. And last but not least, remember, you guys, that you never lack trust. You are not lacking trust. You just lack trust in the fact that it's going to work. You're not lacking trust though, right? So it's about changing your mindset, changing your belief systems. All right, guys, with that being said, it's like 8:45 right now. I am debating if I go get Hugo or not. He's in Santa Monica and it's like an hour drive. It's an hour drive I include there and back. It's also too, since I'm fasting right now, I feel like there's just like I would usually have taken you guys to go get food with me or something by now, but since I'm not eating, there's no content for that. So you guys are just gonna get more of me talking to you guys about sales and improving your life. So it's like 8:45 right now. I'm gonna finish up a little bit more work here. I'm gonna upload some more short form content, like some more clips. So I'm ahead of schedule on that as well. So I will talk to you guys in a second, all right? All right, guys. So it's like 10:30 right now or so. I think it's, let me check here. Let's see. Oh, I forgot to tell you guys, I put my phone in military time, both my phones, and it's been like 2 weeks now. Ever since I've been like filming and vlogging, I've been in military time, and it's been kind of throwing me for a loop a little bit in my schedule, because up until noon I'm like good, and then I have like to think for an extra 2 or 3 seconds every time I look at the clock. Either way, it's 10:30ish right now. I'm heading to get some gas. I'm taking some pictures with my car as well, just for some content stuff. So I'm going to go get some gas and go do that right now, and then I'm gonna head home. I need to get gas too, actually. I'm running low. All right, guys, so I'm taking off my jewelry now. Right now, I'm getting ready for bed. It's like almost midnight right now. I was taking those photos. I was getting some gas as well. I took the photos at the gas station. A friend took the photos for me. I just wasn't really recording, so sorry I missed you guys on that one. I'm gonna go to bed right now. I'm trying to get up early tomorrow, or like my usual time. I've been telling you guys, I've been like not waking up at my usual time because I've been going to bed so late, just like working and planning out this content and everything. And don't get me wrong, I love doing it. It is what it is, but like trying to get back into that early morning grind. I feel like I haven't really told you guys today, but as you guys know, obviously I'm fasting. In moments like this, like at night, like not craving, but I would love food. Anything sounds so good right now, but I just know that the benefits outweigh it. And like, it's this level of discipline, you guys. Like, it's this level of discipline. Like, I'm literally gonna go 4 days without eating. Like, that's just a level of discipline that 99% of people just simply don't have. Like I said the other day in the other vlog, it's like understanding that every choice has an equal and opposite reaction. Like, it's okay if you don't want to be disciplined or you don't want to work hard or whatever it is, but you just got to be okay with whatever the outcome of that is going to be. You know, you have to accept the results of you not being disciplined and you whatever. And am I saying that everyone has to go fast for 4 days in order to be disciplined? No, that's not what I'm saying. But my point being is that if you dread something, something, you should honestly go do it and force yourself to do it because you're dreading it. And that's a sign that you need to run into it, you need to get over that fear a little bit, you know. And fasting for me changed my life. And like I said, I'm not telling you guys to go fast and not eat for 4 days. But with that being said, though, is that you have to learn how to run to any discomfort. Anything that makes you uncomfortable, you have to go run to. You have to literally go and face that fear right away. That's the only way that you're going to beat that thing. You have to reprogram your brain, if you will. You know, I'm in the dark here. Sorry, you guys. You have to reprogram yourself and reprogram your brain to finding enjoyment out of that stuff. You know, you've got to like know that on the other side of all that is growth. And that's how it is. A lot of people don't understand, but the only real way to grow is through uncomfortableness. The only way you really grow is through being super uncomfortable. It's just how it goes. There isn't much of a way around it, you know? There simply isn't. You have to just get super uncomfortable and you're gonna grow from there, you know? You know what's funny too, you guys, is that growing up, I was always one of those kids that like, this was growing up when I was young. Like I thought I was one of those kids that like I could grow up and not put in the work and then still be great. And I remember all these coaches who were like, Billy, I see so much potential in you, but you're not doing the work, whatever, yada, yada. And I always worked hard. I was always a hardworking kid, but I had more in the tank. Like they always, like people knew what I was capable of and I had more in the tank and I didn't access it for a long time. I don't know why. And then now that I look back, all those coaches that I thought were annoying or whatever, they actually were right, you know? And so you have to become obsessed with grinding and working, and that's just the way you do it. That's just how it goes. Well, you guys want to know something weird about me? Is I live in a $10,000 a month penthouse and I sleep on my couch a lot because obviously, between you and I paid, like 16 or 17 grand for the couch. It's one, very comfortable, but most importantly is that back in the day, I used to sleep in my bed and remind me of being depressed and like being sad and all this stuff. I would like just not want to get out of bed. Sleeping in my bed reminds me of that, and it makes me almost like uncomfortable. And now I've gotten over that. Like I'm actually fine with it and it's not that bad at all. Like I enjoy sleeping in my bed now. But back in the day, it was really bad and I literally only would sleep on the couch because for me, it was this idea of like I would be on the couch and then I get to wake up right away and get right into work. Like I wouldn't miss a beat, and it almost was like this thing as if I never actually went to sleep. It was just kind of like I took like a longer nap. Yeah, I don't know why. I wonder if any of you guys experience that as well and know what I'm talking about. Let me know in the comments or DM me because I'm curious to see if anyone else has that type of feeling. But yeah, it's always been something I've kind of had. And even as a kid, I would sleep on my couch a lot. Also too, I didn't like really being in my room that much. I always I never would be on my computer, on my phone, in my bed. Like I'm always out of my room if I'm doing anything like that, because I think your bed and your room is meant to be just for sleep. Like it shouldn't be for anything else. Compared to my other stuff in my house, like my bedroom isn't like the most decked out thing ever because I really think it's just meant for sleep and that's it. I think like too many people sit in their bed all the time, but like the minute I wake up, I'm out of my bed. Like that's just how it goes. And I've always been like that for some reason. I've never really been the type to sleep in either, quite truthfully. Yeah, I've always loved living life. Like I've always truly enjoyed just being alive and awake, and I've always loved being alive, literally, I loved being awake. And I heard Dana White say this quote that really stuck with me, and I always felt it, but he articulated it in a very good way. He's like, you have to build a life that you don't want to sleep from, that you literally want to wake up to. And that's a huge thing of it, you guys. You have to build a life that excites you, that you want to wake up. I promise you, when the work pays off, you want to wake up. You know what I mean? You want to get to work and get going because you find passion and you enjoy it, you know? I'm putting you guys on my fridge handles right now. I wonder if you guys can see me in my boxers right now or not. But before I let you guys go, and outside of sales and everything else, it all comes down to who you want to be in this life, and who are you okay with being and knowing what it takes. And a lot of people have these really bad beliefs. They think this trauma or who you are as a person, you can't change or you can't let go of that stuff. It's all a lie. Most of the things you hear in society, you guys, is a lie, and it's meant to hold you back or hold you down, whatever. You have to have the courage and the audacity to break out of that and unchain your mind and literally unlock your mind and unchain your mind. And part of what that huge thing that was for me, you guys, early on, was this idea of I almost forgot everything I knew. I almost just let go of everything. I knew that what I was doing wasn't working and I needed to make a change, and therefore if I needed to make a change, my thought processes that I were using weren't good, right? And so I knew that I needed to make a change in some way. So I was just open to anything and everything that I felt stuck and resonated with me. And that's been a huge part of my life, meditation and things like that. A lot of the times people, when they hear meditation or anything spirituality, they automatically go, don't want to hear it, whatever. whatever, that's weird, that's lame, whatever. And that's very limiting, but not only is it limiting, it's a very easy way to stay in the same cycle that you're in. It's a very simple and easy way to do that. You have to be open to learn and ready and willing to learn and wanting to learn continuously. And that's just a huge part of growth. And so I really recommend all you guys that you really take pride in learning and letting go of like old beliefs and knowing that, you know, there's new ones out there and that you have to change who you are and change your beliefs in order to change who you are as a person, right? So that being said, you guys, I am going to finish up some last little bit of emails here, upload some last little bit of content, and I will see you guys in a second. All right, you guys, so it's after midnight right now. I finished up some work here and I'm going to go to bed. I'm going to end the vlog here. With that being said, you guys, I want to thank you guys again so much for the channel growing like crazy. It's been the coolest thing ever. Anyone that's been liking, commenting, subscribing, watching the videos, DMing me on Instagram, etc. It means the absolute world to me, you guys. Seriously, it's the coolest thing, and I'm so passionate about being able to come on here and talk to you guys. And like I always tell you guys, even if it's just one person, being able to just impact and help just one person, it means the absolute world to me. I've gone from very humble beginnings, working at FedEx, at a deli, at CVS, to living in a penthouse, jewelry, Lamborghini, everything. I want you guys to experience that as well, and I know anyone can achieve it. Seriously, I know if I can achieve it, anyone can achieve it. You just have to be willing to put in the work. That being said, you guys, thank you guys so much. I appreciate you guys tremendously. It means the absolute world to me. The comments, the DMs, they're always open. I'm always responding to you guys. So that being said, you guys, stay confident, stay grateful, stay persistent. All right, believe that you deserve it, that you can do it. Raise your standard, all right? Raise your standard in who you want to be and believe you're worthy of it, all right? Because you guys are. So thank you guys so much, and I'll talk to you guys soon.
Just do what I pay to find. I ain't seen the sun in 7 days like I've been doing time. That's just how I got the back, built up when I'm on it.